Craig Hennis alongside Dan Gattuso, and we are about to talk about dry guys basement systems. And Dan, I understand you've been at this since what, 1986?
Yes, sir. Been a long time.
So let's cut right to the chase. There are a lot of things that you do. Why don't you go through a list of what you do here at Dry Guys Basement Systems?
Well, we do a lot of foundation repair. If you have a bowing wall, we can straighten it out. If your corner of your house drops, we can lift it up. You know, waterproofing basements. We have the only patented system for dirt crawl spaces in the country. You know, we also do a lot of mold work.
Why do you do what you do?
Well, we want to change people's lives one home at a time. And I mean, that really is part of our mission. It's one of the most misunderstood parts of the whole house when you talk about the basement or a crawl space. And we have the science behind this to really take it to the next level. We're not going to put a generic pipe and a pump in the mud, but we have systems that are just so far superior to that that we have warranties like nothing else in the business.
One of the things that you were sharing with me off camera, and this obviously is a real typical situation. People may have a pump in their home, may have, you know, a French drain, and they say, well, I'm still getting water, but I shouldn't be getting water because I have a pump in my home. Explain to us why they still may be having a problem and how you can help them.
Well, a lot of times you'll have a drain from the builder, an outside footing drain, but that's basically a pipe in the mud that eventually is going to clog, and then the water starts coming in usually at the furthest point away from a sump. Some people think that just putting a sump pump in is going to solve all their ills. That doesn't work either. Most of the time what we're finding is not groundwater necessarily coming up, but it's the backfill from outside from the builder that fills up like a moat around your castle, if you will. And as that builds up, that pressure pushes in, causes the walls to fracture, then the water comes in through those micro cracks and then down through and eventually onto the floor.
You guys, which I think is just fabulous, are part of a really big network. Talk to us about why that is so important to the folks at home when they give your team a call.
We are part of two international dealer networks, Contractor Nation and Support Works. Contractor Nation is basically waterproofing, crawl space, energy efficiency with Dr. Energy Saver. And Support Works is what we do for the foundation, which is, you know, wall anchors and carbon fiber and push piers and helical piers, all the things you need to keep your house stable and safe. These two networks at one time were actually part of the same network, but we've grown so much that we decided to split these networks, and it's been a great thing for all of us.
Now, one of the things you shared with me, and I just love this, Dan, off camera, was Greg, the network has written the book on these things. And a matter of fact, when you call and inquire about Dry Guys Basements, depending on the problem, you're going to get a book. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely. We wrote the book on waterproofing, on foundation repair, on crawl spaces. So when you call and set up book an appointment with us, we will send you out this book on dry basement science or crawl space science or foundation repair science. And you can educate yourself, because what we know is that an educated consumer by far is our best consumers. We can work together then as a team to build the right solution for the right problems and at the right price.
Love this saying, all things basement-y.
Yes.
Love it.
Well, that comes from Contractor Nation. It's a word we invented. We actually trademarked it. And it's just that. If it's got to do with lower level living, we can handle it.
If I said to you, you know, what area do you serve? Now, obviously, we're showing this program throughout the entire Philadelphia area. I know that obviously you love to do work in Atlantic and Cape May counties, Cumberland County, Salem County, Camden County, Burlington County in New Jersey, and of course, as you drive over the bridge, you do a lot of work in the Chester County and Delaware County areas in Pennsylvania. But will you work in other areas as well?
Well, what we do is, in a situation like that, we have sister companies that are part of our network. And if you give us a call, we'll be more than happy to refer you to, again, a quality contractor you can trust.
Let me just run through something with you. There are people that may be looking at their basement situation now. Maybe they notice their house is starting to lean a little bit, or they see some cracks. How does somebody know that they should be giving you guys a call to get an estimate to find out what's really going on? What should they be looking for to know that, hey, we need dry guys, we need them?
Well, it's a good question, but it's a big question. All right, so let's talk about the foundation first. When you see cracks in the foundation, that means your foundation's broken. So it's going to tend to leak. It's going to tend to move. Now, if you can fit a dime in the crack, you absolutely need to pay attention and take action.
That's a trouble sign.
That is definitely a trouble sign. A crack is a trouble sign. Now, we've heard realtors say, oh, it's a horizontal crack. You don't have to worry about it. Well, you tell that to the people where the whole wall collapsed into their basement and all the dirt in the yard came in with it. I mean, that's not really true. Again, stair-step cracking is indicative of walls bowing. Cracks going across the floor in a corner, for instance, and you look 2 wall cracks, is indicative of the foundation settling right there. So there's a lot of different things that you have to look for when it comes to foundation. When we talk about water, you're looking for dampness. You're looking for that musty smell, because now what you're doing is that high humidity is allowing mold to start to grow. Now, don't get me wrong, not all mold is bad. I had some blue cheese for lunch yesterday, you know. So, so you don't have to panic, but we have the ways to fix all that too. When it comes to waterproofing, you know, most people think automatic, oh, I need a French drain. Well, yeah, that's like 50-year-old technology. There's way better things that are much less evasive, different ways to do this that you don't have to unlock your footings and allow your walls to possibly move.
Since you are all things basement-y, crawl spaces, you afraid to work in those?
Oh, we love crawl spaces. We have the only patented system for dirt crawl spaces in the whole country. The science behind it is amazing. What I do understand is that our local construction code people, as hard as they work, unfortunately, not all of them get it. They don't understand the science behind it, and it's really a lot of fun when we can go educate them at a lot of these meetings and stuff we attend. It's a hoot.
Well, I got to tell you, there have been many things that you've been given awards for. I know you were sharing an award in your office with me. What was that award you showed me?
Well, that was Best Business in New Jersey for 1 to 25 employees. That's a big honor. There's a lot of best ofs that we've had. There's best of the county, there's just so many things, but we're not in it for the awards. What we've learned is when you help people, these things automatically just come.
And I know very recently there was a Best of the Best award, and TV personality Rich Noonan has a little bit more to talk to us about the best of the best here at Dry Guys Basements.
Hello everyone, I'm Rich Noonan for Best of the Best Television, a program in which we travel all over America in search of our nation's best businesses. And we have found one of them today.
Today on Best of the Best, the story of Dry Guys Basement Systems. Congratulations to the incredible team at Dry Guys Basement Systems, based in Woodstown, New Jersey, but with a big footprint in South Jersey and southeastern Pennsylvania, on this national honor from Best of the Best, and more importantly, for delivering gold standard customer service and thousands of dry basements for over 32 years and counting. Wow. At Best of the Best, we never tell a company owner that we are reviewing that company. We simply begin our research on any company the same way that most customers would these days. We read every word on the company website, everything we can find online about that company, and if we like what we see, we proceed with a full review. We love the story of Dry Guys Basement Systems. At Best of the Best, we like locally owned and operated family businesses, which is exactly what Dry Guys is. Dan Gattuso, his wife, and 5 children all helped build one of the most positively reviewed basement waterproofing and repair businesses in America. Dry Guys is part of the Basement Systems Network, which is the industry leader and has almost 30 patents in this business. Dry Guys is not your grandpa's contractor. This is a very progressive company. They attack every basement or crawl space problem armed with many different solutions and an incredible knowledge and training base that can only come with being part of a big national network. But with Dry Guys, that family business element has been the key in our estimation. Two of Dan and his wife's adult children, Kim and Elliot, are key leaders in this company. The Gattusos could not be more proud of their very experienced team. Anytime we see photos and bios of team members on a website at Best of the Best, it tells us the owners really value their team. They don't have a lot of turnover, and they're proud of their work or they'd never put themselves out front like this. Dry Guys has a marketing director. They've produced lots of nice videos. They know how to get the word out. But they've also focused like lasers on hiring quality people who do quality work. That's most important to Dan and his team. They hold virtually every certification you can get in this industry. Dan is very big on training, and it has been a good strategy. At Best of the Best, we care most about what real customers say about any business. We found several hundred five-star reviews about Dry Guys. Customers raved about the professionalism of the team, the quality of the workmanship, and most importantly to us, the honesty and integrity displayed by everyone at Dry Guys every day. Dry Guys is a multiple Pulse of the City Award winner, multiple Best of Salem County Award winner from the Salem County Chamber. Kim Gattuso is on the board of Habitat for Humanity in Salem County. She's very active in the Chamber as well, and several other charitable organizations in this part of the country. This is a local family business that really cares. We love that too. Congratulations to everyone at Dry Guys Basement Systems on this national honor from Best of the Best, and more importantly, for doing business only one way every single day for over 3 decades now, the right way. Congratulations, everyone. You earned it.
Dan, there are so many things we could talk about. Let's talk about this for a moment. Teamwork. You know, I had a guy once tell me, teamwork makes the dream work. You have a great team here at Dry Guys Basement Systems, don't you?
Yeah, we're really blessed. We have some great people working for us. But it's all about building a team. It truly is, because there's no way that I could possibly do everything as the owner, if you will. So my job now is to be the team leader. My job is to help my managers, and then my managers take care of everything. But the goal behind building this whole team is to make our customers say, wow. That's our goal. That's what we want.
Well, one thing that I learned right off the bat by sitting down and visiting with you and your team today is that you and the team really care about helping people. Absolutely. You're in it not to, you know, provide a living for yourself. Obviously, that's a part of it, but you really care. That's number one. You want to help people. And one of the things that really explains that very well is your vision, mission, and value statement that you have up on your website. Talk to us a little bit about some of the principles in that.
Well, in our vision, we want to be the contractor of choice for safe, healthy, energy-efficient spaces, changing customers' lives one home at a time. We really do change people's lives because there's so much misinformation out there that people think, well, if I just do this, that'll solve all my problems. But we have actually had customers calling our office in tears thanking us because their kids don't need allergy shots anymore. Man, that's rewarding.
That's a game changer.
Absolutely, and that's our goal.
So here you go. I have downspouts at my house. Okay. I'm getting water in the basement, and I say, I got a fix for that. I'm just going to extend my downspouts outside. That's going to fix the problem. Dan, does that fix the problem?
Well, extending downspouts and moving the water away from the house is always a good part of any waterproofing solution. Rarely, however, is it the answer. It's good to move the water away. That's actually an excellent thing. That should be the first thing you do. Make sure that everything is graded properly. Make sure that there's no pop-ups out in the lawn. The pop-up system they use is lawnscapers really like them, landscapers rather, but they freeze. So it backs everything up. It's better to have like an open grate. And if you do all that stuff and you still have a problem, that's when you can give us a call. We also have some great solutions for that also for you that, you know, when you book an appointment with us, we can show you all these options.
If somebody is not sure, is it worth their time to give your team a call, ask some questions, let somebody come out and take a peek? Is it pretty easy of a process, you know, once they make that phone call or just even call to inquire?
Well, when people aren't sure, generally they know there's a problem. All right, so when our design specialists come out, they can go through a whole myriad of things. And what we often find is it's way more serious than most people realize. You know, it's like, well, it's not too bad. But when you see what it could be and where you are to where you could be, all of a sudden that gap gets huge.
So if somebody thinks they have a problem, knows they have a problem, or suspects it, or anything in between, they need Dry Guys Basement Systems. Am I right?
That's why we're here.
Now, a while ago, Dan, you and your team put together a great video that tells a little bit more about what you do, why you do it, and of course the team. So we're going to show that right now for the folks, and we're going to come back and visit a little bit more with Dan and the team right here at Dry Guys Basement Systems. Remember, all things
basement-y. My name is Dan Gattuso, first generation owner of Dry Guys Basement Systems. We cover all of southern New Jersey and southeast Pennsylvania. One of our biggest parts of our industry is basement and crawl space waterproofing. With our patented systems that we have, like our water guard and our triple safe sumps, we offer things that nobody in that industry can. In crawl spaces, we have the only patented encapsulation system in the country. We also got involved with smart vent for foundation flood vents. It's only a smart thing to do to protect your foundation if you're in a flood zone. I have people that are certified in mold remediation. Because we see so many foundations that are damaged, we got involved with the foundation support works. Again, there's a lot of patented products we use that actually allows you to straighten your walls even over time, or we can do it right away. We can lift corners of houses that are sinking. If you have a bowed wall, we can straighten it out for you. We're not afraid to stand behind products we know are the best in the industry.
All right, Dan, so I got to tell you, one of the things that you see a lot, and probably you see a lot, are people that paint their walls in their basement.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing? Should I paint my wall?
No way.
Why not?
Well, years ago, when products were oil-based, they were kind of okay. But now, because of the VOC compliance, everything is latex-based. Latex is made from wood sap. Wood sap is a food source for mold. So when you put that all over a moisture source, which is your block wall, then the mold starts to eat the paint from the backside out. Brown stains everywhere. And we have a whole new industry now just grinding that stuff off of walls.
So there is a correct way, if I'm understanding you correct, there's a correct way to do waterproofing of a basement, but it is not painting the walls. Call Dry Guys, let them properly waterproof your basement. Is that correct?
Greg, let me put it to you this way. If the water pressure is enough to crack your wall, what in the world is paint going to do?
Good point. Say that again. I like that.
If the water pressure is enough to put a crack in your wall, what exactly is paint going to do?
I want to run through some problems in case somebody has just joined us. And if they see these things going on in their house, is it a good thing, thumbs up, or a bad thing, thumbs down, okay?
We'll give it a shot.
Okay, so they have a pump, but they still have water in their home and they think it's a pump problem. Is that a thumbs up or thumbs down, or should they call Dry Guys?
Well, that's a thumb in the middle. Yeah, probably give us a call.
Okay. What if they have a French drain and they're still having water problems?
Well, it's probably clogged up, so it's a thumbs down.
Call Dry Guys.
Absolutely.
What if they have a situation where they've got cracks in the wall and they've actually went as far as trying to take some, concrete and trying to patch it up a little bit? Is that a good thing, or should they be calling Dry Guys? Is that thumbs down?
Give us a call. That's a thumbs down. That's kind of like a Band-Aid on a bullet hole.
So when you actually see jobs like that, when you go to different sites and you actually see people that have tried to patch things, I imagine that's an area you probably gravitate toward pretty quick, right? Your team will identify that.
Yeah, absolutely. Our guys are highly trained to find all these different problems, and again, to build that proper solution that both the homeowner and us, because we're going to be backing it and guaranteeing it, that both of us can agree on, that works within their budget.
You just mentioned something that I think is fabulous. You said you're going to back it and you're going to guarantee it, right?
Oh, absolutely. We got the best warranties in the business. See, in New Jersey, for instance, a lifetime on a waterproofing project is 8.5 years. Where that number came from, I have no idea. We know that, unless it's specified 20 years or better, you only have 8.5 years. Well, most people outlive that warranty. We do a life of the structure warranty. As long as that house can be occupied with a certificate of occupancy, Dry Guys is going to back it. And if anything should ever happen to Dry Guys, for any reason we stop doing business, then it's backed by the network of Contractor Nation. They'll have another dealer from another territory come in here and service that house till they set up a new dealer. There's nothing like it in the country.
Knowing you have a warranty, knowing you stand behind your product, Dan, what separates you between you and the other contractors that deal with basements?
Well, that again is a little bit of a long story. It's the business model itself. Most waterproofing contractors are advertising clearinghouses, if you will. So they get the lead in, they send the salesman out. If the salesman sells it, then they fax it immediately to one of two subcontractors who quickly gets in there, breaks the floor open, and leaves generally. This way, you know, you can't get out of the agreement. We, on the other hand, don't use subcontractors, but we actually have trained, in-house, vetted, drug-tested employees. These are people that I know I can trust in your house.
So what you're saying, if I understand, is that a lot of the other guys out there are using subcontractors. So if you have a problem and you pick up the phone, you're going to, in some cases, hear, eh. But if you pick up the phone, have a problem at Dry Guys, because the guys that are actually performing the work for you, you stand behind it, it's back, they've got a warranty, hey, you got peace of mind. That's everything.
We are definitely a low-risk company. Again, like I said, we're not trying to hide anything. We do business differently than most people.
One of the things that you do, Dan, I think it's great. I love to hear about businesses that care, give back to the community, and really care about people. And I'm looking around and I see that you've, over the years, have done so many different things with charities and different organizations. Talk to us a little bit about why that's so important to you and your team.
Well, again, we want to change people's lives one home at a time, and we can't always do that because they don't own a home. So we do a lot of work with Habitat for Humanity. There's a lot of churches we've gone in and really helped them out. Just, you know, especially the widows. We want to take care of widows the best we can because that's just the right thing to do.
Hi, my name is Joanne Wright. I'm from Salem County, New Jersey. I chose Dry Guys because I really liked the service I had the first time I used them with the windows, and I knew that they had a great reputation and knew what they were doing, so I just called them. I didn't call anybody else. I had the crawl space lined, and now my contractors actually go in there, and they said it's the first time I've been in there. It's great. It looks great in there. I was impressed with Dry Guys because they did what they said they were going to do, and products work really well.
I'm Bruce Lovelace from Pittman, New Jersey. We had a storm, and I went downstairs, and we had 6 inches of water in the basement in our brand new house, so that was kind of upsetting. I did a lot of research online, and Dry Guys came up as one of the prime prospects to use. Your foreman, Jim, was just amazing in terms of how dedicated he was to doing it right. I was very impressed with the whole thing. And could have been a really nasty situation, but they really fixed the problem. So thanks to Dry Guys.
How difficult is it when somebody picks up the phone, calls the number they see on their screen, visits the website, gets a hold of somebody? What can they expect as far as, you know, is it going to be a smooth process to get somebody to come over and visit? Is it going to be worth the wait? Things like that.
Well, because we do things differently, we are booked out a little longer than the average contractor. I mean, if you think about it, if somebody says, oh, we can come in and have your job done in 2 weeks. Really? Do you want that guy there? You know, most contractors in our business are booked out weeks and weeks and weeks. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. What's kind of makes me snicker sometimes is, you know, we've asked people, well, how long have you been dealing with this problem? Oh, 20 years, but they want us out tomorrow, you know. So, but no, again, like I said, we are definitely worth the wait. You know, you're going to get exactly what you plan for. Now, you asked about the process.
Yes.
When you call, you get a live voice. You know, there's somebody there picking up the phone.
During business hours during the week, correct?
Correct. Then at that point, you know, we schedule a salesman to come out. The salesman then, and again, he's actually a design specialist, will pass it on to production. Production communicates with you. Our team comes out when we're scheduled. All right, and if there's any issue at all, you're always in the loop. All right, and then when the job is all done, and here's the great part. Again, we call it wow foreman. We want you as the homeowner to be involved with the work. We want to give you permission to say, wait a minute, I'm not sure about that. Can I stop you? And absolutely, we want you to be there. We don't want problems. All right, so if we're doing something we're not aware of, and look, we're not perfect. We try, but we're not. So we give you permission to literally be part of the job. You know, we don't like disappointed customers.
Well, we like that. Customers that are a part of the job. That's a great concept.
It really is. It's called wow foreman.
Yeah. Now, situation is basement work you've performed, okay? Basement is no longer leaking or foundation problems have been repaired, whatever the case may be, but they're looking for the final process of the basement finishing because after all, you're all things, you could say it the way you like to say it. Say it.
All things basement-y.
And since you are that, basement refinishing. How does that work? And is that something, since it is all things,
Basement-y?
can you handle it?
Well, yes and no. All right, and here's why. We, on average, tear out about 25 finished basements every year like clockwork. The carpenter, who is an absolute artist upstairs, is generally a dud in the basement. See, that is the nicest cave you're ever going to own. And because it's like a cave, you have to treat it differently than upstairs where the house can actually breathe. So we finish with inorganic products that go into your basement that are guaranteed never to mold, never to rot, never to rust, any of that stuff. Now, we've grown to the point where basement finishing is no longer our forte. However, we do have some great products for insulating your basement, for giving it a quasi-finished look. But if you truly need an absolute finished job that's going to last you a lifetime, then we refer you to Total Basement Finishing, part of our network. And my son actually is Everlast Solutions, and he has now taken that banner and he's running with it.
So you're, no matter what, you're in great hands.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, it's great to know that it's a one-stop shop.
If somebody's just joining us and they say, well, since Dry Guys Basement Systems is
all things basement-y.
If I'm not sure I need something done, but I'm not quite sure, can they call and just have somebody come out and take a look? Is that something that you're glad to do?
Well, yeah, oftentimes we have our customers call, and we generally have, system designers in the office that can talk to them with problems, and we'll actually have that person go out to their house and take a look at the issue.
So if they're not sure, you'll send somebody out that will know for sure what's going on.
As a general rule of thumb, yes. I mean, if we're like super, super busy and somebody's going, well, I don't think so, But again, our job is to make everybody as happy as we can.
Okay. Final couple of minutes, name some of the most common problems that you deal with and help, and tell the folks out there, and then we'll let them know how they get a hold of you.
Well, some of the most common problems are sump pump failure, and they don't have an alarm on the system, so they don't even know. They go down and the whole basement's flooded. So we can even supply alarm systems and that kind of stuff. No backup systems, which is very important, and ours is actually patented, which is kind of interesting.
The network wrote the book.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll show you the books on screen, I promise.
The other issue is high humidity. Most people have a little dehumidifier from Sears or Lowe's or Home Depot, and they're great for about a 10 by 10 area, but we actually manufacture our own that won't do the whole basement. They do the whole house.
Wow.
Very efficient, and they run at half the cost of that little one you bought.
Wow.
Plus, it filters the air down to 2 microns. Cracks
in the basement, house starting to lean, crawl space issues. Are these all things in the wheelhouse?
These are all things we take care of for you. Egress windows. So if you want to finish, you need an egress window to be able to escape in case there's some kind of a problem down there. Yeah, there's just so many things we can do for you.
Let's put it to you this way. If you're watching us, if you can see us, if you can hear us, and you're inside the Delaware Valley or even outside the Delaware Valley, through the network, we can help you.
Absolutely.
Bottom line is, if it involves your basement, if it involves your crawl space, leaks, water, anything that is even suspect, you need to give Dan and his team a call. It's Dry Guys Basement Systems. They are here to help you. Phones are open during normal business hours. I know after business hours, they've got a voice message you can leave a message on, and somebody will get back to you first thing the next business day. They're really on top of things. They care about you. They're going to help you. Bottom line is, when it comes to your basement here at Dry Guys, they are
all things basement-y.
Dan, in our final moment or two, is there anything you'd like to leave us with as we say goodbye?
Well, give us a call. It's really important. I mean, we want to make sure that your house is stable, it's healthy, it's safe, and we can even help you make it energy efficient.